Howdy. Today we're looking at the Caustacyst. It is an infested melee weapon. I believe the blueprint is acquired from the dojo in the biolab. It is very, very strong. Even more so after the Jade Shadows changes, with blast and armor strip and all of that stuff. Though it was quite strong before. So let's get right into it. Now, the first thing you're going to notice about the weapon is the crit chance. Ooh, 9% base crit chance on a scythe. That's rough. It is a one-handed scythe. It's got a 1.0 attack speed, 2.9 meters of range, 9% crit chance, 2.0 crit multiplier, 37% status, 71 puncture, 17 impact, 69, nice, slash, and 103 corrosive for a total of 260 damage. It has innate corrosive. That is what makes it so special, because very few weapons have innate corrosive. And we can easily fix this crit chance. With the changes that happened in Jade Shadows, we got Blast being insanely strong now. It's just unbelievably powerful, especially to groups of enemies. And one of the best parts about Blast is that it can be paired with other stuff still, like corrosive or viral, of course. So that just means more damage. And Blast also does not take electricity to make, meaning you can run Blast Electric and have melee influence. So we now have corrosive and Blast and electric and melee influence. That's kind of insane. And that also means we have the armor strip built into the weapon, so we don't need armor strip on our Warframe. We have the Stalking Fan stance here. I would recommend Reaping Spiral. I just haven't reformed. But Stalking Fan isn't bad. I actually kind of like Stalking Fan, to be honest. But Reaping Spiral is probably going to be the better option. Discipline's Merit, just so we get the Tennokai if we want free heavy attacks, because it does big PP damage. Prime Breach for the range. Amalgam Organ Shatter, you don't need the Amalgam version. Just run normal Organ Shatter. Weeping Wounds for tons of status chance, because it has such high base status. Condition Overload, so we get lots of extra damage because we have Puncture, Electricity, Impact, Blast, Slash, and Viral. And that's just on the weapon. That's not counting our pet or anything. That's already 6 status effects for 480% damage. Vicious Frost and Volcanic Edge to get Blast, and Voltaic Strike for Electric. And then Quickening so that we don't have terrible attack speed. We do not have crit chance on the weapon because we can't really make use of the 9%, right? That's 9% at base, that's not worth bothering with. Now, if you don't want to go for crits, the weapon is still capable of killing stuff. So let's say we replaced Organ Shatter here with something else. Now, I don't know, I guess Prime Pressure Point you could go with just for more damage, but it doesn't really matter that much. So we'll just do that. And as you can see, nothing affecting our damage on my Warframe. So we'll go ahead and spawn in the typical guys. Pause AI, come down here, simulates. Even without being able to get crits, it's going to do a fairly decent amount of damage. Now, of course, we don't have our combo built up, which is something that will matter a lot. There it goes. Look at that. The damage is just more than enough. We don't even need to have the combo built up at the start. But I wanted to show it with it all built up still. I need to switch to Nairmon. Okay, let's do this again. I'll use Power Spike so I can build up our combo quicker. Go in, whack stuff, maybe get a heavy attack off, and then they're all dead. One? Oh no, that one died too. There, now with our combo built up, if we don't do a heavy attack, just whacking stuff, you can see that it's very, very good. And because it's Electric Blast, of course, if you group these enemies, it's going to do even more. If you add Viral in, it's going to do more. If you have Emerald Archon Shards so that you can get more armor strip from Corrosive, it's going to do more. All of that stuff. But if we want to really maximize our damage, we want to be able to crit, which is why we run Organ Shatter here. Then, there's only one thing you have to do to fix your crit, and that is the Helmet ability from Kalervo. Wrathful Advance. It gives a flat crit chance increase, similar to Arcane Avenger. 100% at base, the Helmet's version at least, and it scales with strength. So like 200% strength, all of a sudden we have guaranteed orange crits. This is the build I have on my Volt. It's a pretty basic melee focused build on Volt, but you can literally do it with any frame. All you have to have is Wrathful Advance. Put this on any frame with okay strength and duration, and you're going to be able to get the crits. And then, you know, have a crit damage mod on so you can make full use of said crits. So now we simulate these guys again. I'm not going to be casting my other abilities here, right, like Shock Trooper and all of that stuff. We're literally just going to be using Wrathful Advance. And as you can see, we got these orange crits, and then look, even more damage than before. It's very, very effective. Now, I do not have Varuna right now, which is unfortunate. I would love to get her. But one of the best parts about it is the armor strip, right? The corrosive, because that means you don't have to build for armor strip on your frame. Although I guess that's also something that applies to Volt himself. Volts does not have armor strip in his kit. He has a very strong kit, but he doesn't have armor strip, which, despite the armor changes, is still something that you're going to want in high-end content. And putting an armor strip on him is kind of annoying. I just personally don't feel like any of the armor strips work really well with him. Ophanum Eyes, the one from Jade, is okay on him. Terrify is just way too expensive. Pillage takes way too much strength to try to put on him. It's rough. And Theros Strike is okay, but that also is just a cone shape, and it knocks enemies back, which can be annoying. So not having to worry about armor strip is huge. If we want to maximize it again, we could put Emerald Archon Shards on him, right? Just like 2 normal ones or 1 Tau Forged for extra corrosive stacks. And then we'll have all of the armor strip we can need without having to have it on him, which also means it opens up the helmet to have Wrathful Advance. So we get massive PP damage. It is really made, the weapon Costis is really made to be used on a frame that you're building for melee. It can be used on its own, but it really shines when you build into it. Now, again, I don't have Varuna, but if we were to use, say, this build, we get of course, the crit chance, like I said, we get the survivability from Electric Shield, we get the attack speed from Speed, and we get Shock Trooper, giving us tons of electricity, so we get lots of electric procs spreading everywhere for some big PP damage. Then, of course, you can add in other stuff like Panzerphobophyla to spread viral, or anything else with viral, like, say, Diarrhea or something, but I personally like Panzerphobophyla. Or Sentinel with Hellstrom, that also works. So, I mean, they died pretty much instantly before, so I'm not really going to be able to show this. I would go into a mission, but it's going to be the same pretty much anywhere you go. It's just going to kill everything. It's a very straightforward weapon that only took a couple hits and they all died. Right, like if we let the viral hit on at least one of them so influence can spread the viral. Did he attack yet? They're all dead. What, 3 hits? 2-3 hits there? Yeah. Pretty freaking strong. Oh, in case you're wondering, this is a skin on the weapon. It does not normally look like this here. That's what the weapon looks normally like. I think it actually looks pretty cool at base. The 2 infested prongs. It's not bad. I like it. But I do really like this skin. Oh, I just realized the Enlightened Hate skin can be used on any scythe? Question mark? I did not know that. Interesting. I thought it was only a hate skin, but it goes on any scythe, I guess. Very interesting. Well, we got to learn something new together. Isn't that great? Yeah, this is pretty much it. I don't really know what else to talk about the Costis. I mean, melees are really straightforward. It's just a really strong melee because it has base corrosive. It does have a Riven Dispo of 4, so Rivens are very much worth getting on. I'm not sure what I would want on a Riven. If you're going to heavily invest into using it, you want a melee-based frame, of course. And if you're going for a melee frame, your long-term goal should be purple Archon Shards. Like Varuna, Valkyr, melee-based Volts, or Kalervo himself. You're going to want purple Archon Shards for crit damage. So, like, let's say you had 4, that ends up being 300% crit damage. So crit damage isn't really necessary in the Riven, though I guess it's probably still going to be higher damage than if you didn't have it. So I guess I would probably want attack speed, range, and crit damage, and a harmless negative if I were to get a Riven for it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, for anyone interested, I guess melee afflictions. You could run melee afflictions and like Reaping Spiral, but I don't really think that's gonna matter, especially since it has such high status at base already. If you're gonna go for that, you might as well just use Harmony and spam heavy attacks. That would be much, much better for a melee afflictions build. Let's go back to the Volt so I can show it in case anyone wants to see the fashion real quick. That's what it is. And that's going to be it for the Caustacyst. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe. Adios.